Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'm looking at Conan the Barbarian, issue 20. Okay, so with issue 20 of Conan, we've got a continuation from the story of the issue before. Nice cover, again. Try and get these textless cover as possible. But there is a particularly good one that's got the old Conan logo from Marvel, which I think is really, really nice. So yes, it's a weird one, because there's some weird stuff happening in this, and you go, what? Oh, it's part 4. Okay, crikey. There you go. I thought it ended issue before, but there you go. Anyway, so Zulu showed up at the end of the last issue, and he's now taking Conan. The reason being, apparently, he's tainted by the Serpent people, and yeah, he can shapeshift from Panther into person, and yeah, Conan has a go at him, and he's about to kick. It's like, okay, right, he's no snake. You know, surrender now, or basically, I'll just kill you in your Panther form. And then shape changes again into a woman. And okay, I don't know if this is purely to trick Conan, um, but basically, she says that there is a taint in him that comes from the snake god kind of doing something to him in the past, and it needs to be get rid of. And she can detect it, so obviously it needs to be looked at, and you know so he can be free of this serpent god's magic. Um, Transforms again into a bird this time, and off he goes. And it's like, oh, you'll go for a journey. Okay, you need to go and meet me. There's a big giant rock over there. I'm gonna fly there. You just make your own way there when you want to, and you're going, okay, that's not very nice. And surely you could, transform to something that I could, sit on and ride you over there, or you could lift me up in whatever. But no, just lets him go on with it. And then we get a little flashback, obviously, to what happened. We see the snake god there, and we see the heist that went on. He gets stabbed by that blade, the fangs of the serpent, which is apparently the cause of this problem. Eventually gets to this giant's head. It's in the woods on top of the mountain, and meets up with this other guardian, which apparently, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, is Zulu again, or I don't know if it's Zulu again, or if it's another person of the same tribe, because I think it's Zulu again. Um, does a face paint match up? No, because she's got no face paint. Interesting. Um, so he says, right, we can get rid of this, but you've got a magic circle here. You need to put your weapons outside the circle. Stay inside the circle. I'll conduct the ceremony, and we'll see what we can do about it. And he gets a flashback to all the serpent people attacking, having fights with these people in the past, and all this kind of stuff going on there. And eventually, this giant snake god kind of rears out from the nether. He goes to go and manages to call his sword with some kind of telekinesis power thing. I've never seen that happen before. Um, I don't remember ever seeing the sword do that in previous issues, but who knows? Um, so it's like, you need to choose a sword, god or beast, serpent or man. Now, ironically enough, god or beast, from a person that can shape change into a panther and other animals is quite funny. Anyway, so he stabs the snake, um, and then this kind of dark, shadowy version of Conan kind of comes out instead, and they have a bit of a scrap, and he remembers Billy, and that it's like it's all a distant dream, and and he manages to kill this kind of replica of himself, and apparently that is the manifestation of this serpent people's curse kind of thing. Um, and then it's like, yep, he's got a pendant there, protection from the snake people. It's like, oh, you slay me other chance. I'm in your debt warrior. Uh, I expect to repay it when hope to meet you again so I can repay it. And he says, like, I hope not. And you go, right, okay. I don't again. I don't call him by his name. I don't know if this is another. There's no kind of reference to see if this is actually Zulu again. in another form, or like a similar form to what it was previously when you first encountered him. Why Zulu turned into a woman is weird, unless that's like Zulu's true form and she just used the male form to be stronger. But why would you do that when you can turn into a panther, or if possibly, like a dinosaur or rhinoceros, or so I don't know. I've got no clue at all of why Zulu turned into a woman. Don't know. But then we get this other next scene at the end of this, which is basically the thief from the previous story where we stole the dagger, and it's like, oh, it's the fanged serpent. It's like, oh yeah, no, not interested in that. But I know someone it is, and it's like, oh my god, it's a serpent person, and the serpent person kills her, and it's like, he's sorry, whatever. Now, again, I don't quite know where this fits in because it just says Agalon the ward. There's no mention of how long it took, because it would seem to be that the story where they stole the dagger was one of the last adventures that Conan with Belit, because Belit is dead in the beginning of this story, but she's only sold the dagger in the end in this story, so she must have held onto this dagger for ages, um, which I think's a bit weird. Uh, I mean, unless of course, this is something that happened in the past and we don't get it. I don't know, but you would have thought this would almost be like this was missing off the end of the last story, so they put it in this story. Um, but yeah, so she's dead, and she was she was an interesting character. Could have shut up a few more times. We're getting a little bit more at the moment, anyway. For the last couple of stories, we've obviously had a little bit more of a kind of continuity where we've gone from Bleak being around and dying and all that kind of stuff as well, rather than kind of flashing back here and there and everywhere. Whether or not it's going to happen with the next story, I don't know. But that kind of rounds it up. But again, we keep kind of getting to this kind of anticipation of the serpent people showing up. As of yet, they haven't shown up. They just keep being on the fringes of stuff, and there hasn't been kind of some kind of massive effort of being, Conan versus the serpent people. Um, Whether or not that's because it's all covered in the books, or other stuff, I don't know. And maybe this is just kind of like a way of telling, like, the stories of like how Conan got into the conflict with them. Um, I honestly don't know. But I really hope we get some kind of payoff at some point, because just having them show up at the end of every story, go, "Ah, ha ha ha," is getting to be a little bit repetitive. But yeah, all in all, it's not a bad book. Um, so yeah, there you go. That's Conan 20. So that's pretty much all I can say about this one. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.